Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe and still practicing social distancing to avoid the spread of coronavirus. It is very unfortunate that during this pandemic and these very troubling times that we all still have to face the reality that there is still anti-Black racism existing in the United States. Some people believe that because slavery was abolished and because we no longer have Jim Crow laws, that anti-Black racism doesn't exist, and that is not true. We still experience it daily through institutionalized racism, incarceration of Black folk, as well as police brutality. And I want to talk a little bit about that because recently police brutality has resulted in a lot of civil unrest across the United States. While police brutality has been going on for a number of decades, the Black community is overwhelmed, grieving, angry, and disappointed. George Floyd was murdered, pinned down by 3 police officers for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, where he died on the floor. This video circulated social media. Breonna Taylor was fatally shot, no-knock search warrant by police officers. It is almost as if police have no regard or value for Black life. I would be lying if I said I wasn't truly disgusted. Watching the video of George Floyd being murdered and hearing the news about Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and many other Black folks are just being murdered in the streets. With all of this unrest in the community, people rioting, looting, angry, why am I going into my lab Zoom call now to discuss science? That Monday, I had a 5-minute presentation to present to my lab over a Zoom call. And I'll be honest, I did not want to speak. I had no words. I did not prepare for it because I was very upset and angry at what is taking place in the world currently. I just didn't have the desire to talk about science. Luckily, my advisor cancelled the agenda for that lab meeting, and instead we will watch Dr. Platt's BME's Diversity and Inclusion Award, which addressed a lot of the injustice towards Black folk in the community. So after we sat down and watched the talk together on a Zoom video, my advisor wanted us to discuss it. I still had no desire to talk. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to think about these situations and how I can possibly help. I was still shocked that we're still experiencing anti-Black racism in 2020, let alone at all. I just wanted to know how to fix this problem. How can I change this? Other lab members started to talk about the video and different experiences that they have faced with injustices in the world. And my advisor probed, does anyone else have anything to say? And I sat there quiet. So I told her that I don't feel to speak. I'm upset, but I'm very grateful that she allowed us to watch this video and be able to reflect on some of these issues. It made me feel better that she cared enough to quit the agenda for the day and focus on these issues and focus on how we may have been feeling as a result of these issues, and not just go ahead with science as normal. So for the very least, that made me feel better, but on a global scale, that doesn't really solve anything. It doesn't fix the problem of this very rampant police brutality towards Black folk in the United States. I'm very fortunate to be a member of BEAM, the Biomedical Engineering Alliance for Minorities. This is a professional group at Georgia Tech, and a couple of the members from the group, they wrote up a document about how you can be an ally to support the Black community. So I want to go through this document really quickly, and I encourage you to follow these pointers in order to support the Black community, and it highlights some ways in which you can help. I'm really grateful that they took the time out of their very busy schedules to educate others on how to assist the Black community during these times. Now, while they're not being paid to give this information, we should just be very grateful that we have all of this information in one place, and it's not limited to these pointers, but these pointers I thought were very informative and very useful because they're easy to implement and the wording is very direct and concise. So let's dig in. Black Lives Matter. Recent protests over the grotesque and incessant loss of too many black lives to violent white supremacists and police brutality are in our minds and hearts at this moment. We first would like to join in solidarity with the calls for justice. Secondly, stating names of those we've lost is critical. We hold and support the families of Tony McDade, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Ahmaud Arbery in our thoughts, prayers, and actions. This list tragically continues to grow every day. These incidents represent the steady assault on the black community and illustrate the fundamental flaws of the justice system as it stands today. Members of the community, especially those most impacted, have been traumatized, stressed, maddened, and activated by the precipitation of systematic racism that repeatedly affects us. We feel this deeply. Without echoing too many statements, we aspire for people to take care of yourselves, continue to exercise your rights, and be safe. So, here's a document. And here are a couple of the listed members who have contributed to this document. And then we have a bunch of other unnamed Black BME Ph.D. students who support this document or have assisted in some way. Fortunately, these students have shared this document with us and they encourage you to share it as well. These practices can apply to anyone in the Black community. So we have acknowledge police brutality and call the victims by their names. Reach out to Black people as they may be affected. Don't expect your Black peers to be more than happy to explain the situation. Understand that the issues plaguing our society today are systemic. Remember to be respectful of your Black peers. Don't stop fighting. Don't stay neutral or silent on the issue. And here we conveniently have some frequently asked questions. And lastly, there are a lot of resources here I think are awesome resources for us to dig in, become educated, and ways for us to take action. So make donations, sign petitions, make calls, and send emails. Don't forget to check out the link in the description for how you can be an ally and support the Black community. It's very important that we take care of ourselves because we need to take care of ourselves first before we can even help others. So thank you for tuning in and I hope that everyone is staying safe. Please register to vote and I will see you soon.